So hi, my name is Jean-Baptiste and I'm a talent acquisition manager at Holland. My passion? I have plenty of passions. As a kid, I was more of I think quite a very active kid, so always wanted to be outside. It was quite difficult to keep me inside, focus on my, homework or, so yeah, just wanted to be outside in the garden with my friends. I played tennis a lot and also I used to ski a lot. But beside that, every weekend we were hiking around, walking around in the mountains, but also like doing just a lot of sports, cool stuff on the lake, wakeboarding, wake surfing and stuff like that. Where I found my passion about basically challenging myself as a kid is mainly because I've always done like competitive sports. So basically like competition is a kind of a challenge. No matter what, you play against someone else or you race against someone else. But first person you race against or you play against is most of the time yourself. So I think this is where I started to love challenging myself thanks to like a bit of a competitive and the competition environment. My past experience in this kind of competition, so basically in 2017, I think, or even 16, I started my triathlon journey with like short distance, but I was also quite into running with like running half marathon. So I was combining both basically, short distance triathlon or Olympic distance triathlon and long distance running. Then I also started to be more and more into trail running, long distance trail running, and I had the chance to participate to the Half Marathon des Sables in Fuerteventura. It's a long distance trail, it's 120 kilometers over 4 days in the desert where you carry all your stuff and it's a full autonomy competition. So my daily job, so like I said, I'm a talent acquisition manager, but it's a very hands-on job. So basically it's really like knowing the market, the talent market, engaging with the talent, pitching All9, so trying to convince them that All9 is the best place to work for them and till the offer stage. So that's one part, that's the very hands-on part of my work. And there is also like a more strategic aspect, is like, or we gain visibility on the market, or we trigger talent attention on a very competitive market. So yeah, I would say those are the two main part of my job. It's the journey, to reach a goal. It's so we all have like a goal in our mind, at work or for passion or for something. But what really matters is that what you're going to do every day to reach this goal. And I think recruitment is exactly the same, It's like engaging with candidates every day, again and again, to finally, by the end, find your top talent. We're going to France Autumn Stadium. So it's an athleticism track. It's pretty good for interval training. So it's not really about the distance. It's much more like intensity, pace. That's what you usually try to train when you go on a running track. Usually like interval training are the most intense one. They're like killers. If you don't puke by the end, it means that it wasn't a good training. I want to discourage you, so I'm not going to tell you all the reasons, but it's very dangerous. It's an extreme sport. You have skydiving, you have cliff jumping, and just after, you have run. Preparation for an Ironman is key. Of course, you can go and do the race maybe without training, but you will suffer. I like to train sometime on my own. I would say sometime on my own because it is convenient. You just go when you're ready. You don't have to wait for anybody, and it's easier to balance work, family, and your training. But when there is this kind of doubt happening, it's much more during the training phase, where there is always oh my God, it's so many hours training, so many hours doing something after work, where I would rather enjoy a beer with my friends, or even some beat balance or stuff like that, where I have to stick to alcohol-free beers and gluten-free bread. So there is always this moment during the preparation phase where I'm it's too much, and I don't want to do it again. But then there is this moment, which is the competition, where I'm really enjoying every second of it. So what I'm looking forward to the most, it's probably going to the Ironman shop and buying all the merch. That's what I'm really looking forward to. But no, mainly it's just being there, being on the race. Just finally racing, because I've been training for I think 17 to 20 weeks, almost full time. So now it's just time to complete the race and try to be as fast as I can. Also, being in Finland is gonna be amazing. Super excited about it. Ironman is a special distance and brand for a triathlon competition. So all the other triathlon competition, it starts with the swim, then it's the bike, and then it's the run. Okay. The only thing that is different is that those distances are above the Olympic distance. It starts with 1.9 kilometer swim, 90 kilometers on the bike, and then you finish with half marathon. An interesting part is that you start with the swim, where it's a proper fight in the water. So you're next to each other, you need to find your way, you need to find your pace, and you have thousands of people in the water at the same time. So it's a proper fight, it's almost a physical fight against each other. So you get punched, people, they hit you with their feet, and so you really need to make your space and I don't know if I can put it like that, but impose a bit yourself. And it is quite interesting because you wouldn't expect this physical contact for endurance sports. You have it with the swim, you don't really have it with the bike, but then when you're back on the run again, also sometimes you have to push a bit the other to make some space, and because you can't just accelerate, you're almost exhausted already, so you can't just change your pace, accelerate like that. So sometimes you have to push a bit the other to make your way. During the race, you go through a lot of emotion. When you're on the bike, it's a long ride. It's 90 kilometers, so you're gonna spend 3 hours and a half on the bike. So you really have the time to think of and about many things. And I always try to, in every competition, to surround me with only positive thoughts. So I always try to attract only positive vibes on the starting lane. This is something that I read in the book, and I find that super important. So I was in a very positive mindset. One thing that was a bit emotional, I was thinking of the birth of Theo, so of my son. So that was this moment, and I was a bit of a emotional 1 minute or 2 minutes where I was okay, I'm thinking of him now, and I'm doing also a bit that for him. Man, like just finishing the race is such a great emotion. Like when you pass the line, you're like full of energy, full of positive emotion, full of accomplishment and kind of emotion or feeling. And you're like, you could do another one straight away. You know, it really like boosts you and fulfill you. This is quite addictive, and this is why you want to do another one. Bigger challenge, longer distance, more demanding, more challenging. My name is JB, and this is my passion. What's yours?
I'm going on a long, long journey. I'm traveling towards the sun.
What's your passion, David?
I'm going on a long, long journey. Gotta find out where
Charlie Chaplin
the
training.
sun shines.
Finally, we cut